Once upon a time, deep in a dense forest, a pack of wolves moved quietly through the peaceful wilderness. Soft golden sunlight filtered through the thick canopy above, scattering patches of light across the ground, while the forest echoed with the rustling of leaves and the distant calls of birds. Everything seemed perfectly calm, until a sudden ferocious roar ripped through the silence, signaling that a nightmare was rushing toward them. As the entire pack panicked, each wolf fleeing in a different direction in sheer terror, Mongol stood frozen in the face of danger. He did not retreat. He did not turn and run like the others. Instead, he took a deep breath and shouted boldly, "Everyone, run now! I will fight him myself." In that moment, amid the lion's thunderous roars and the wolves' desperate howls, Mongol appeared as a rare symbol of courage. It was his stubborn bravery and willingness to sacrifice himself that saved the entire pack. Although he fought fiercely, Mongol was badly wounded. Blood kept pouring from his injuries, and his strength slowly faded away. He ran as far as he could from the jaws of death until he finally collapsed inside a dyer's house. At that very moment, a vat of blue dye spilled over him, covering his entire body. When he woke up, Mongol had turned into a strange blue creature. If you found this part gripping, drop a 1 in the comments. On the other side of the forest, the wolves had long believed Mongol had died in his battle with the lion. But a few days later, a strange blue creature suddenly appeared, sending shockwaves through the entire forest. Its massive body, mysterious color, and utterly unfamiliar appearance made every animal tremble in fear. Not only deer, monkeys, and rabbits, but even the lion lowered his head warily before this enigmatic presence. No one knew who it was, where it came from, or what kind of power it possessed. And in that fear, all the animals crowned the blue creature the king of the forest. From the day he became king, Mongol gained power, respect, and a position no animal had ever dared to dream of. Yet behind the majestic appearance and glorious life, his heart carried a deep loneliness. He missed his wolf pack. He missed their familiar laughter, the times they roamed the deep forest together, and even the ordinary days that had once felt so warm and comforting. The higher he rose, the emptier he felt. That aching longing made Mongol begin to crave seeing his old friends again, even if only once. In the end, unable to overcome his homesickness and the softness in his heart, Mongol secretly went to meet a few wolves he trusted most. In front of them, he was no longer the mysterious blue king who struck fear into the entire forest. He was simply the old Mongol, their former friend who had once run through the woods with them, hunted beside them, and shared every joy and sorrow. In that vulnerable moment, Mongol revealed the full truth about who he really was. He thought he was reaching back for friendship and belonging, never realizing that this very decision would open the door to the greatest tragedy of his life. But what Mongol never expected was that once a secret leaves your heart, it is rarely yours to keep. What began as a confession made in trust quickly spread from one wolf to another. In the end, one of them went straight to the lion and said, "That blue king is not some strange creature at all. He is Mongol, our old friend." Hearing this, the lion was stunned, yet unwilling to believe it right away. Suspicion rose inside him, though on the outside he remained calm. From that moment on, danger silently returned, waiting for Mongol to reveal his true identity himself. And then the unthinkable happened. While still hiding behind the identity of the Blue King, Mongol suddenly heard the familiar howls of wolves echoing through the forest. The sound struck his memories and awakened the deepest instinct inside him, one he could not suppress. Without thinking, without caution, Mongol lifted his head and howled back like a true wolf. In that very instant, every layer of mystery collapsed. The lion stood there in stunned silence for a few seconds, then realized the truth. The blue creature was none other than Mongol. Once the truth was exposed, the lion's anger exploded more fiercely than ever. He was not only enraged to discover that Mongol was still alive, but also humiliated by the thought that he had been deceived, that he had bowed in fear before the very wolf he had once nearly torn apart beneath his claws. The pride of the king of beasts could not endure such an insult. Blinded by rage, the lion charged forward and attacked Mongol with brutal force. Though Mongol had once been incredibly brave, this time there was no escape. In the end, he fell in tragedy because of one painful mistake, placing his trust in the wrong beings and allowing his secret to slip into others' hands. From Mongol's story, we learn that courage and strength of character are precious qualities, but courage alone is not enough. A person also needs wisdom, alertness, and the ability to protect what should remain protected. In life, not everyone who stands beside us will always be as sincere as we believe. As we grow older and move closer to success, we must also learn how to guard our secrets, our dreams, and our values. Remember this: trusting others is a good virtue, but without caution, it can sometimes become a fatal weakness. And that is the deepest lesson Mongol left behind.